Today we're going to draw basic shape of a skeleton. We are not going to draw every single bone because if you look here, there's a lot of bones to draw. So basic shapes. So we're going to start with the skull. And the skull is, again, light bulb type shape. So I'm going to draw up here, draw a big bump, and then have it get a little bit skinnier. So it comes down like this. Now next we're going to draw the eye sockets. You don't have eyes anymore for your skull. So you just have these two big circles. You don't want to draw them too far in the forehead because otherwise you look kind of like an alien. Then the nose. The nose, when you're a skeleton, is an upside down heart shape. Now all of those could be colored in because they're holes. Then mouth. I like to draw the mouth. The mouth, I just draw a rectangle. There's no lips or anything. Always looks like a skeleton is smiling almost. So we just have the rectangle. We divide it in half and put lines going down. Next, we're going to draw the rib cage. Now, there's a lot of other bones that go along, but we're just going to make it all a rib cage. And there is a bone right here in the center that's important. It's called the sternum. And to me, it looks like a tie. So we are going to draw the tie. It needs to be skinnier than the skull. Here we have our sternum. Now, for the shoulders, we're gonna have lines that come straight out, and they need to be wider than the skull because your shoulders are definitely wider than your skull. Now, the bottom of the ribs, you can see this line that comes down like this. So we're gonna take and draw a line down. And then for the ribs, I'm just gonna draw a straight line coming down. Then, now, your rib cage is not a solid set of bones. It's individual bones with spaces between them. That way we can breathe. So I'm just going to draw some lines. When it gets down here, they kind of be more diagonal. I went outside my lines a little bit. You get the general idea. Like that. And it's okay if they don't have even numbers on the sides. Now, you notice the skull and the ribs are not connected. We are going to draw the backbone. The backbone goes from here and goes all the way down to your pelvis. And it's just really a really skinny rectangle. So I'm going to draw two lines here and then lines that come down. And then I'm just going to divide them up. Because we can move, if our backbone was a solid bone, we couldn't bend. It's individual pieces, so we can bend in many places. Now, the pelvis or the hips. If you see, it comes out at a big bump, and then has kind of a little bump down at the bottom. It's gonna end up looking kind of like a butterfly. And notice it's about the same size or width as your ribs. So I'm gonna draw a bump, a little one down here, like this. They're pretty much symmetrical. I'm gonna do two little circles down here. Then we are going to do arms and legs. So let's say for the arms, I'm gonna draw, you can have the arms in any position you want. Kind of depends on where we're gonna add clothing to this person to make it Day of the Dead. What do you want your skeleton doing? Do you want them running? Do you want them waving? Are they a ballerina? Then it depends on what your arms are. This is just practice, so you can draw arms however you want. I'm gonna draw mine like he's waving. So one arm straight down and one arm up waving. That way you can see the difference between the two. So I'm gonna draw this one straight down. If we look, the elbow is about the bottom of the ribs. So I'm gonna do, it's gonna look like a dog bone. Two bumps, straight down, two bumps. Then the bottom here to the wrist. So this is your elbow. So we're gonna draw, again, the two bumps going down. And the two bumps. Now, if you look at the hand, there's like a bazillion bones in the hand. We're not gonna draw that many. Instead, there's this bottom part that's got a bunch of little rock-looking ones. We're gonna make that solid. So we're doing kind of a rounded triangle. And we have a thumb off to the side. Then for fingers, you would have a lot of little bones. You can draw those if you want. Which I forgot to say, this bone here is actually two bones. I only drew it as one. If you want to add a second little bone, coming off the side, you sure can, but you do not have to. That's completely up to you. Now for my arm, it's gonna go straight out and then up like he's waving. Straight out. Now a lot of times what I do to make sure the arms are even, make sure with my fingers. Okay, that's about right. And then measure again. Then here we have that triangle, thumb, finger. Okay, there we have the arms. He's waving at us. Now for the legs. This one I'm gonna have coming out and down. I don't know why he's got a leg up, but he's going to. And this one straight down, just so you can see what you're gonna do. Now this one, the top of the bone is a little bit different. It fits kind of into this socket right here. So like on this one here, I draw that socket, and then the bone comes down like this. And then the bottom we can make it look like a dog bone again. It just gets wider. Then we have our kneecap, or just called our patella. Then we're gonna draw, again, this is 2 bones coming down, but we're just gonna draw 1. And for the feet are gonna look like the hands, but there is no thumb. So we're gonna do the triangle. And this time you just draw 4, 5. It's hard to get 5 in there, especially with a marker. Okay, and this one we're gonna have off to the side. So I'm gonna try to make it correct length. Patella. I just like to say that. Maybe this one I have pointing down just a little bit. I have 5 toes. So there is your basic skeleton. Have fun drawing.